for either those that want to go over the class after the class, or those that make the class for whatever reason. I go ahead and, excuse me, record the class. So after the class, this is going to be uploaded to YouTube. And all you have to do is just go onto YouTube, type in my name, Barbara Breaux. And whoever invited you can give you the correct spelling, but it's B-R-E-A-U-D, my last name. First name is Barbara. It's showing, it should be showing right underneath my little picture here. Just type in my name, and a series of videos from past classes are going to come up. So we've been doing this class for, oh, I don't know. I mean, we've been doing this class for about a year, but I've been recording them since July. So you're going to see all of the classes going all the way back to July. I've got just tons of topics. Okay, so every week we go into a different topic. We teach some different things about the oils. Oftentimes I have folks come on and share about the oils. You know, some of those that have been using the oils for some time and, you know, have stories to tell. They come on and they share their story about the oils, but it's a real fun class. I know I enjoy putting it together. And we have a lot of fun. At the end of class, we're going to be giving away some stuff. So make sure you hang out to the end of class. I've got a little goodie bag that I'm going to be giving away, 2 of them at the end of class. And also some free A to Z books. All right, so stick around to the end of class so we can make sure that you're, you know, that you get some of that, that good stuff. And we are going to go ahead and get started. My name once again is Barbara. I not only do I use, but I also learn and then share about a product called doTERRA Essential Oils. And we're going to talk a little bit about what essential oils are, how they're extracted, what parts of the plant they come from. We're going to talk about a number of things. It's a little fast paced of a class. I try to go slow. I try to be clear. But if you miss something, either one, you could take a screenshot of the actual PowerPoint slide, or 2, you could go and review the PowerPoint that will be uploaded to YouTube later on. All right. So the science of essential oils. So I wanted everybody to understand that with essential oils, as with anything, there's chemistry involved. All right. And there's a lot of science that's behind essential oils. However, understanding they were created by God. And so the science of essential oils has nothing to do with the consistency or the efficacy or the chemical components that are found in the essential oils. It's just what science has found that God has actually created naturally in what he created there in nature. So essential oils, I just want everybody to understand, and one of the big takeaways in this class is I want everybody to understand that there's more to essential oils than just a pretty smell. Okay, there's a lot of science, there's a lot that's in these essential oils outside of just how they smell, but they smell very good. There's very few oils that I've ever smelled and I said, ew, that kind of smells. Very few. There are a couple, and I think that's where everybody's nose is a little different. Like, you know, patchouli is not the oil that I grab, right? I'm not drawn to that oil at all. But there are some people, Francis, that are very drawn to patchouli, right? And so, because everybody's got a different nose, right? And so we process the smells different. But to understand that essential oils, there's much more that goes on with essential oils outside of just the smell. All right. So what are essential oils? Okay. Essential oils are the compounds of plants. Now, when I say compound, it's a multitude. A compound would be more than one element that's put together in a proper sequence to where they can bind and things like that. That's the chemistry of it, right? But in general terms, the way that we understand this best is that they are oils that are extracted from various parts of plants, okay? Different plants, many different plants. So the oils are taken from the root, the oils are taken from the stems, the oils are taken from the bark, from the leaves, from the fruit. There's a lot of plant matter that goes into essential oils. So what are the essential oils for? Why are we taking, the essential oils from the plant? Are they for the plant, right? The same way that we were given by God, we were given a wonderful, effective immune system, very effective system. The essential oils, or the oils that are found in the plant, they're actually part of the immune system of those plants, okay? And so at being that, they protect the plants from a variety of threats, okay? Such as, one of my favorite oils is Arbor Vitae, comes from the Tree of Life. It's sourced in Canada. Why do we take Arbor Vitae? Well, one is because the reason that that tree is called the Tree of Life, it's an Arbor Vitae tree, but why is it called the Tree of Life? Because it lives so long. Why does it live so long? Because it is not subject to parasites and environmental threats. Why? Because of the essential oil called Arbor Vitae. So what we do is we're actually taking, or I should say doTERRA actually takes all of the waste products from the lumber industry up there, takes all of those waste products and distills and extracts this oil that we know as Arbor Vitae. So it's actually, it's not like we're just, or doTERRA is just, chopping down trees all over the place. They're actually, in this particular case, they're actually taking what the lumber industry would actually throw away and utilizing it for a very beneficial purpose for us, okay? Now, that's not necessarily in all the cases. I mean, we've got, doTERRA has fields and fields of lavender that are grown only and strictly for the lavender oil, right? But I'm just saying in the case of Arbor Vitae and the immune system, making that point. So our bodies are made of similar building blocks, just as like plants are, right? Immune systems, trying to, ward off threats and things. So when we use oils, they go to work on our bodies in much the same way as they would work for that plant. Okay, so it's pretty simple, pretty easy, which is the reason why we would even have used herbs, or if you do use herbs, right? Cooking, spices, herbs, a lot of people use them in cooking, but people use them for other reasons other than just cooking. Cooking is probably one of the, just one of the many ways that herbs are used. So what are essential oils? Now, once again, I don't want to reiterate myself, but I want to just kind of expound a little bit on what I just said. They come from the insides of plants, right? Just like we said, roots, leaves, flowers, bark, fruits, right? They're stronger than just taking the herb that we were just talking about, okay? And there's a perfect example in like peppermint tea, and I didn't bring the statistics, but like 1 drop of peppermint oil can make like 28 cups of peppermint tea. That's a lot of tea, right? Just 1 drop. In other words, they are very, very concentrated. They're very, very powerful, all right? We're gonna talk a little bit later on about safety in using essential oils in light of something that a good friend of mine had just said happened last night. I wanna make sure that, that we all understand how to safely use them, right? I mean, are we just going to take a bottle of oil and start dropping it in our eyes or in our ears or in our nose or in our mouth? No, there's safety that comes along with it. We're going to talk a little bit about that in just a minute. So the reason that essential oils are much stronger than the herbs is because they're taken out through a process. They're taken out from the plant through a process, usually steam distillation, but there's other ways also that they're extracted. So I mean, herbs are great and they're amazing healers all by themselves, but the oils are actually more potent, more powerful than even the herbs, okay? So like I was saying, the oils are there to help the plant. They also help us in many ways, whether it's killing bugs, whether it's, skin issues, whether it's internal issues, heart problems, brain injuries, high blood pressure. If you can name a disease, I can tell you, and I might not be able to tell you right now, I might have to actually research it first, but if you name the disease, I can tell you an oil that would help to resolve the issues of that disease. Now that is amazing, if you ask me, okay? So let's keep on going here. All right, so how do the oils work? All right, so essential oils, they work in 3 different ways, okay? Not every oil is gonna work in 3 ways. Most of them work in 1 of 3 ways or all 3, okay? They can either be taken topically, aromatically, which is where you inhale, either through a diffuser or just opening the bottle and inhaling, or putting on your hands and, inhaling it that way. And the last way that they can be used is internally. Now, the reason that I said not every oil can be used in 3 ways is because not every oil can be used internally, all right? And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on in this presentation, but just understand those are 3 ways: on your skin, okay, which actually absorbs into the skin very quickly, in aromatically or inhalation, which it goes to work in the lungs, not only in the lungs, but also in the limbic system of the brain. If you understand anything about the circulatory system, you understand that that each alveoli has a capillary running right underneath it, and everything that we inhale diffuses and goes directly into the circulatory system. Okay, so when you first use an essential oil topically, you may realize that it doesn't feel like a normal oil. Now, what is a normal oil? A normal oil, like maybe olive oil or vegetable oil or coconut oil. If you use any of those oils and you put it on, you notice that it feels kind of, there's like a more of a greasy feel to it, right? Essential oils are not like that. Okay, and anybody who's used the oil was pleasantly surprised. I mean, at first you put it on and it's like, where did it go? Really, where did it go? Well, it went somewhere. It went somewhere. It so quickly absorbs into the skin very quickly. So it goes to work very quickly. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. So it doesn't make your hands feel greasy or slimy like maybe olive oil. Soaks right into your skin, and it doesn't leave your fingers. And I always say, because, when I'm doing my facial, regimen, at the end, I put on chapstick. And it used to be, back before I used the essential oils, I couldn't even take the lid off of the chapstick because my hands would be all, greasy from the products, right? Not so with essential oils. When you're using essential oils on your face, within seconds, I can take that cap off of that chapstick without no problem at all. So they don't leave that greasy residue. So it's actually really, really nice. So your face doesn't feel greasy, your skin doesn't feel greasy. You feel very good. I know I absolutely love, doing my skin. Absolutely love it. So now I want to explain a little bit as to why this all happens. Why is it so quickly absorbed? Okay, so I want you guys to pay attention, because this is really what makes essential oils just so awesome, so amazing. And what that is just how fast essential oils can actually pass through the skin. Okay, so within 22 seconds, first of all, the molecules, if you inhale it, they reach the brain within 22 seconds. Now I say it's quicker than that, but 22 seconds. Within 2 minutes, and please excuse this slide, that Easy Air, that name for that oil has been changed to Breathe, but Easy Air. Within 2 minutes, the essential oils are found in your bloodstream. And within 20 minutes, the essential oils have reached every single cell in your body. we have a lot of cells in our body. So within 20 minutes, every single cell in your body has been serviced by essential oils, okay? So the molecules, and the reason that all of this happens the way that it does, because the molecules of essential oils are so small, okay? And also because they are lipid, okay? Oil and lipid, it's the same thing, okay? They literally absorb into our skin. And if you understand anything about the dermal layers of the skin, you know, you've got the dermis, you've got the sub-Q, then you've got the basal layer, and right in there, you've got all your nerve endings and your circulatory, which very small capillaries. It goes directly into those capillaries and it goes throughout the body very, very quickly. Now, other oils, such as, like I was just saying about like olive oil or vegetable oil, they're not small enough to do this, okay? Now, that's not saying that those oils are bad, not saying that. What I'm saying is the reason that these oils absorb so quickly is because of this reason, all right? All righty. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about inhalation. We talked about the topical. When inhaled, the essential oil particles interact with the olfactory system. Well, what is the olfactory system? Well, olfaction just means smell, okay? Your sense of smell. All right, so all the organs related to smell is what? A big old nose, right? And then you got your olfactory bulb, and then you've got all those receptors, lots and lots of receptors, right? And as you can see here, you've got the neocortex, the thalamus. It's all the limbic system. Okay, very, very important. That's the limbic system is when your emotions are involved, right? So by inhaling these oils, they send immediate signals to the brain. Here's that word again, the chemicals, okay, that are found in these oils, okay? And they have direct access to the brain. That is the quickest route to anything neurologic, okay? Whether you're having a migraine, seizure, Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, there are solutions. I'm not saying that this is like an end-all cure. What I'm saying is that there are solutions to actually help to either lessen the severity or to help avoid, ward off, those types of things, okay? So this is why so many people use essential oils to help, you know, things like depression, anger, and some of those other things that, that we just talked about, even traumatic brain injuries. There's a lot of studies that are being done actually with essential oils and the neurological system. I mean, the link is just incredibly close. So the molecules are small enough to pass what's called a blood-brain barrier. All right, and I love this slide. I'm not saying I chose this slide just because I like this image of the head. Nothing to do with the words. I put the words on this slide. So that red is not, that's not your blood-brain barrier, okay? There's much more to your blood-brain barrier than that, but just understand that essential oil molecules, they're small enough to pass through the barrier that conventional medications, okay, we're talking pharmaceutical type things, they cannot pass through that blood-brain barrier. Not only can they not pass through the blood-brain barrier, but they cannot enter into the cell like essential oils can enter into the cell, which is the reason why when you have a viral infection, you're usually not prescribed antibiotics because the virus lives inside the cell. That's the whole purpose of a viral infection, that viruses are not alive, remember that. So what they need in order to reproduce is they need a cell, okay? Whether it's a human cell, whether it's an animal cell, whatever it is, they need a cell in order to do their dirty work, okay? Get in there, they do their replication in there, taking our own organelles, our parts inside the cell, and then they burst out of their cell. They usually kill that cell in the process of doing that, and then all of those viral particles go and now invade other cells. Okay, so that's the you know, the process of an infection. But understand that that's the reason that pharmaceutical products, okay, antibiotics, are not usually prescribed for viral infections, okay, because they can't enter into the cell. But guess what? essential oils can. Essential oils not only enter into the cell, but they do so with ease. There is no ATP required. We've got gates, okay? They're receptors and they're like gates. And cells only allow certain particles in and out. Essential oils are one of them that don't even need the gate. They don't even need to go into the gate. They just diffuse right through the cell membrane. And that's because of what that cell membrane is made of. It's a double layer, it's a phospholipid. Remember that word lipid, meaning oil. And what does oil and oil do? It attracts, right? Literally allowing those oils to just diffuse right through the cell membrane. No ATP, there's nothing required, okay? It doesn't have to knock on the door and say, hey, can I come in? It just enters. Okay, so this makes essential oils one of the best candidates, not only for brain injuries, like I was saying about the blood-brain barrier, but also for anything else that's happening in the body. Essential oils are powerful. They are very powerful. Alrighty. And I know I go on about certain things. It's just, I just love talking about essential oils. All right, so the last way that essential oils are good and that we can use them is through ingestion, okay? Now, remember, not all essential oils can be taken this way, okay? And we're gonna talk about that in just a second. So, but you do have to be careful with that, okay? Know the oils that you can ingest, and I'll show you how you can tell. It's very easy. So when ingested, they absorb into your bloodstream, just like I was talking about, to get to, you know, whatever the problem spots that you've got. A lot of people use essential oils for stomach issues. And I think Francis might talk about that after class. And, you know, others, you know, other times in my issue, because I didn't really have stomach issues, a lot of times it's just to get those oils into your body, whether it's for detoxing, to prevent kidney stones, bladder infections, those types of things. All right, so all right, so here, what's in your glass? So here are just a few essential oils that you can put in your water, literally, and just drink it with your water, right? Wild orange, and lemon, and lime, and peppermint, Slim and Sassy, grapefruit. Slim and Sassy is very, very good. And I know that there's somebody that joined this Zoom that she had a wonderful presentation on Slim and Sassy. So hopefully Juanita will be able to say a few words about that at the end of class. But these are wonderful oils to take internally to really, really help in your overall health and wellness. Now, this is the way that you could tell if your oil, always look at the bottle. Don't just assume. Always, I still look at the bottle for certain oils, right? You should always look at the bottle. If it says supplement facts, you're good to go, okay? If it does not say supplement facts, don't take it internally, okay? Now, even though it says supplement facts, that does not mean that, you know, you're just gonna, you know, open the bottle and just start pouring it into your mouth. Look at the serving size on this slide right here, okay? Under supplement facts, it says serving size 1 drop. It's really all you need. It's 1 drop. Now, let's say you're making like a flu bomb, okay? I don't have that in this presentation, but if, you know, it's in a lot of my older presentations, flu bomb. That's where you get a little veggie cap and you put a couple drops of this and a couple drops of that, usually like oregano and thyme and wild orange and frankincense, and, you know, some of those really powerful virus type killing, bacteria type killing oils. You might use 2 or 3 drops, but that's if you have an infection of some sort. If you're trying to fight something, you might need a couple of more drops. But any more than 3 drops and you're wasting your oils, okay? And you certainly don't want to waste them, that's for sure, right? So, and just a little by the way type of a thing, your bottles, if you've got a 15 ml bottle, which most of the oils are in the 15 ml bottle, You've got 250 drops of oil. That is a lot of oil. That 15 ml bottle is going to last you a long time, unless you are using it morning, noon, and night, right? That bottle is going to last you a long time. I've had bottles of oil that have lasted me for years, right? Matter of fact, I just used up my fennel. I love fennel, love fennel. I love the smell of fennel. I mix it with other oils to create beautiful smells. I cannot believe how fennel makes such a beautiful smell when you incorporate it with other essential oils. But I ran out of fennel, and I'm digging in all of my other essential oil. I got some boxes of them, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm like, are you serious, right? So I made sure I put it in my cart. But my whole point is that I don't buy fennel very often, right? Because I only use a drop here, a drop there, right? I don't use a whole lot of it. But it's like when I run out of it, it's like, oh, I got to have that oil back, right? Now, if you have a 5 ml bottle size, there are approximately 85 drops of oil, okay? So that 15 ml bottle is about 3 times as much, all right? We're going to talk a little bit more about the differences there in just a minute, but I want to stick with what we were talking about and kind of talk a little bit more about the idea of pharmaceutical drugs versus essential oils. Now, we were talking just a little bit about that just a minute ago, the way that they can pass through the cell membrane, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to talk just a little bit about, excuse me. Okay, so why should we use essential oils? Okay, now back to what we were saying about the pharmaceutical drugs. The first and the biggest reason why you should start using essential oils is that essential oils have no negative side effects, none. Now, if you're using the oils incorrectly, you might have a side effect, such as somebody was telling me last week that they were using clove in their mouth, and they might have accidentally got it on their lip, and then their lip starts to burn. Which can be corrected very easily with just a little dilution with coconut oil, olive oil, some type of an oil. Just dilute it, and that should go away right away. That's really the only side effect is skin sensitivity, which is a very easy fix. And a lot of that is just because maybe we just don't understand how powerful these oils are, right? And so, with just a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of care, we can make sure that there's absolutely no side effects, but certainly here, 0 deaths due to unapproved essential oil use. But look at how many deaths as a result of FDA approved. Now, essential oils are not FDA regulated. That's why, we have to have all these reasons why we can't say that it cures and it heals and it's this and it's that, where they can do that with these prescription drugs. I mean, I definitely have a problem with it, but we have to go along with the guidelines. I can't tell you that essential oils heal things. I can tell you that it supports and that it's done wonderful things to a lot of people, but because they're not FDA regulated, you can't say that. But look at the difference just in the deaths alone between prescription drugs and essential oils. All right. Now, when you pick up a bottle of Tylenol, something that you would give to your baby, you turn that Tylenol bottle around and take a look at all the warnings and the side effects. And that's what we're giving to our children without any question at all. Yet we pick up a bottle of essential oil and we say, oh, well, I don't know if I can give this, because no, this is God's gift to this earth, essential oils. Okay. You just have to learn how to use them properly. That's all. All right. So there's much reason to believe that essential oils are more effective than conventional medications. All right. Now, secondly, essential oils, as I just stated, they were made by God. They're the most perfect in their purpose. Conventional medications are made by the limitations of man, right? Of human hands, of human minds, right? Now we understand that when, when man, makes anything, whoops, I'm so sorry. We understand when man makes things, when they create things with their own hands, it's always prone to mistakes, errors, right? Just there's side effects and all of that. But when God makes it, he makes things complete. Like when we look at our body, there is no way that we could say there is no God. When we look at nature, there's no way we could say there is no God. When we see the synergy with our bodies out in nature, right? Like right now, getting close to springtime, right? So what do we see? I know I'm driving down the road and I see the beautiful blooms. Of course, I'm down here in the South. So, oftentimes you get the blooms coming out earlier. With those flowers come, seasonal allergies, right? But anyway, when we see the way that God puts everything together, he puts things together in such a beautiful way that we can't duplicate that perfection, right? So we can trust him. He also gave us the herbs, right? A lot of people use herbs. There's herbs to help with almost every disease known to man, right? What have we done? We just learned how to use these herbs, right? We take them and we use them, okay? Whether we put them in tea, there's herbal teas in just about every, it's confusing when you go to the teas. It's like, okay, what tea do I, there's like all kinds of herbs and herbal teas, right? So what mankind has learned to do, which was wonderful, is learn to extract the oils from these herbs to make them more convenient to use and even more effective than some of those herbs, all right? We are going to talk about the top 5 essential oils for beginners, all right? Now, even for those that are not beginners, I enjoyed putting these slides together. And I wanted to start with lemon oil, okay? Because lemon oil is probably one of the easiest oils to use. It's usually the oil that you feel the effects of it very quickly. It cheers you up. It cleans. It smells wonderful, and it has a crazy amount of health benefits. All right, you can make a cleaner out of this oil. All right, cleans, it purifies the air. When you diffuse it, it does wonderful things to your mood. You could use it for furniture polish. You can put it in honey and help your sore throat. I put it on my neck with a little bit of tea tree if I feel a little sore throat coming on. Usually it takes care of the problem pretty quick. You can actually remove stickers. How many times did you buy something from the store and you're trying to get the price tag off and it's like it's all stuck to it? Put 1 drop of lemon oil on that and just rub it around. It comes right off, right off. Any kind of glue, any kind of sticky residue. You diffuse it with with lavender and peppermint. Very, very good for seasonal discomforts like I was telling you about with the pollen and everything. Matter of fact, you can take 1 drop of lemon, 1 drop of lavender, 1 drop of peppermint, put it in your water, drink it. Do that a couple times a day to help with your seasonal allergies. You don't believe me? Try it. doTERRA actually even sells it's called Tri-Ease, and it's got lemon, lavender, and peppermint in it. And it's for those folks who, kind of like me, that might be lazy. So you don't feel like opening the bottle and putting a drop in, or you don't like the way that they taste or whatever. We actually sell it's a little soft gel, and you just, take it a couple times a day. And, like I have my granddaughter on it right now. I told her to get started with it quickly and soon because of the season that's coming up. But you want to start it before, everything comes out and your body is now overwhelmed, right? So I'm making her take it now. Like I was talking about, the all-purpose cleaner, or here's a great way: a little bit of baking soda and a few drops of lemon. You can put it in your oven to clean. Does everybody know that glass, that you have on the front of your oven? You could use that to actually clean that greasy buildup that's inside of the oven. You can use a drop of lemon in with maybe like you're trying to wash your strawberries or your blueberries or whatever. Put a drop of lemon, let your fruits soak in it for a few minutes in water. And what it does is it helps to get some of the pesticides and things off. So it's a very, very versatile oil. All right. It also has antibacterial properties. I thought that was really, really neat. If you're feeling down, you can diffuse it. It can calm your stomach, relieve nausea. I mean, you could put it in with your laundry. I know I have those wool dryer balls, and I oftentimes will put essential oils, and you could do that with any oil that you want, whatever you want your clothes to smell like. If you want them to smell like lemons, put a couple drops of lemon on those little wool dryer balls, or even a tennis ball. You put a few drops on it, throw them in there with your laundry in the dryer. The wool dryer balls actually take the static out, but then when you put the essential oils, it makes your clothes smell wonderful. Promotes weight loss, and it is packed with vitamin C. The second oil I want to talk about is lavender. Lavender wasn't my first choice when I started with essential oils, but I have grown to absolutely love lavender. At first I didn't, the smell just wasn't something that I was drawn to. But after using it and seeing the benefits, especially with skin, if you have a burn or a bug bite, lavender is your first choice, okay? It's called the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. Why? Because it is probably one of the most versatile oils. I know I said that about lemon, but it's also true about lavender. And that's why these slides is the top 5, you know, the oils that get you the most bang for your buck, right? You purchase these few oils and you've got a medicine cabinet for many different things, okay? So you put a little bit of lavender on your pillow, you know, a couple drops on your pillow to help you to fall asleep. You could put it on your skin, whether it's acne, whether it's a burn, whether it's a cut, whether it's a bug bite, works great. You can take it internally. You could cook with it, right? You could put it in a spray bottle and use it to, you know, to spray down your linen. There's so many things that you can do with this oil. Look at this. It's an analgesic, anti-inflammatory, diuretic, disinfectant, sedative, cold and flu, bug bites, depression, burns, cuts, scrapes, headaches, earaches, allergies. My goodness, what doesn't this oil do, right? Wonderful oil. Not to mention that the smell is very calming, very calming. And maybe that's the reason why at first I wasn't drawn to it, because I'm not a calm person at all. I'm kind of like the opposite of a calm person. I'm just, you know, I always say it's because I'm from New York, but you know, give yourself your excuse however you can, right? Some people say, well, it's the way that I was raised. I just say I'm from New York, and that usually excuses me for everything, right? So I'm not a calm person. I'm always moving. Even when I'm sitting, my leg is usually bouncing. Why? Because I got tons of energy and I got to get it out somehow. But anyway, I have learned to just really love this oil, to embrace this oil. And I use it now often. And, you know, it is, like I say, it's calming, uplifts your mood. Like I was saying about it's a not only for the bug bite, but it's also to repel the bug that's going to bite you, right? So, I mean, that's wonderful, you know. Stress, headaches, very good for like massages with, you know, muscle tension. It's good for any kind of respiratory issue, blood circulation, digestion, and the list goes on. Alrighty, I want to talk just a little bit about peppermint. Love peppermint. Got some diffusing right downstairs with some citrus oils. It's very, it gives you energy, right? So this would be one that maybe I don't need, right? But it gives you energy. Like, let's say you're taking a long road trip, grab some peppermint, put it in the car with you when you feel yourself just kind of, you know, how sometimes the road just kind of starts to, you know, embed itself on the, you know, on the retina of your eye. And it's like, that's all you see is just asphalt, right? And you know, you're drifting off. Open up that bottle of peppermint and take some sniffs, and it's going to wake you up. Guaranteed, it will wake you up. This is a very, very powerful oil. And we're going to talk about that in just a couple more slides. Peppermint is very, very strong. okay? It's very, very good for stomach upset. People use it for IBS, Crohn's disease, gastritis. It's very good for anything gastrointestinal. And we're going to talk about that. I'm hoping that Francis is going to talk a little bit about that after class. Now, you take a few drops, you put it on your hands, you rub it on the back of your neck in the hot summer months, and it cools you down. If you have a fever, same thing. Okay, you can rub it on your head and neck. Now that's where I want to talk about how strong this oil is. You want to dilute this oil if you're going to be using it on your skin. Okay. I've learned it the hard way, not me myself. I don't think I have sensitive skin, but my daughter. This is also a repellent. You can actually put this wherever bugs, like if they're entering into your home, ants, whatever, just put a few drops along the hearth of your house, and it repels bugs naturally. All righty, very, very good to wake up in the morning, okay? Good for headaches, stress and tension, cooling, digestive issues, just like what I was saying, hiccups, nausea. It's a wonderful, wonderful essential oil. Very good for to reduce inflammation, joint pain, for the bugs. Once again, we all love repelling bugs, don't we? I don't think there's anybody in this world that likes bugs, right? All right, well, I do want to make sure, especially since we just talked about peppermint. I added this slide because I want to make sure that everybody understands that there are certain oils that should be diluted, okay? Doesn't mean that you have to. You test it out on your own skin, but peppermint is one of them, all right? Oregano, clove, thyme. There are some oils that are going to be hot on your skin, or they can very easily, do some type of a, sensitivity or, reaction, whatever, if you put it on what's called neat. Neat just means that you're taking it right from the oil bottle and putting it on your skin, okay? So some oils you can use neat, like frankincense and lemon and tea tree. Even tea tree could be a little, you can have some issues with that as well. So it's good to say that if you're putting the oils on your skin, diluting it with a little bit of fractionated coconut oil, which doTERRA sells, by the way, so 1 drop to 5 drops, okay? Now, essential oil safety, always read those labels, okay? Every bottle of oil has labels on it. Avoid putting the oils in these very sensitive places, your nose, your inner ears, your eyes, broken skin, any sensitive area such as that. The dilution we already talked about. Here's the strong oils. Oh yeah, I forgot cassia and cinnamon bark. Those are strong as well. Cassia, yeah, is a beautiful smell now, but you got to be careful how much you use, even if you're diffusing it. There are some oils that give you a little bit of sun sensitivity, all right? And those are mostly the citrus oils. Storing them in the dark is the best. That's why it's good to put them in a box, keep them out of the sun, and be very careful when you're giving them to kids. Now, if you're going to give an oil to a kid, as this on the right hand of this slide is showing, when you dilute it to this extent, then it is safe to put it in the hands of a child. So you just should always be careful when you're putting it in the hands of a child. All right, so I want to go back to those 5 top oils now that we talked about the safety. There are 10 everyday uses for tea tree. All right, look at all of these different uses. Tea tree is probably the oil that I use. I guess I could say I use it the most because I use it like all the time. It's got a beautiful, beautiful smell. I love the smell. And I love the way it feels on my skin. But it is good for so many things. All right. And this is just a small sampling of what this oil can do for you. Here's a few more. Primary uses: acne, allergies, athlete's foot, bacterial infections, bronchitis, candida, coughs, dermatitis or eczema, earaches, hives, lice, nail infections, pink eye, or tonsillitis. This is a very, very useful oil to have. As a makeup remover, softens your cuticles, helps with fungus. So like if, some people, they have a problem with nail fungus, whether it's on their fingernails or their feet, whatever, especially as you're aging, whatever. Good for yeast infections. Chicken pox, removes mold. You could use it to make a deodorant, which, by the way, nobody should be using antiperspirant anymore. Deodorant, fine, not antiperspirant. Okay, it actually anti-perspiration. What it does is it actually keeps that perspiration, which is actually your detox center. You've got axillary lymph nodes. They're running all down from your neck, under your arms, and it is very critical for the detox to happen. If you prevent yourself from perspiring, the toxins are going to go somewhere. And we want to know why there's such an increase in breast cancer. Check it out. There's a direct link to antiperspirant, okay? Not deodorant, antiperspirant, all right? That's for a whole nother class, a whole nother time, but just take note of that. I don't use the antiperspirant, I use the essential oils. And it is what it is. I mean, it's just not healthy to, we need to detox. So anyway, tea tree has also been known to have anti-cancer properties to it. Okay, not just tea tree, many oils. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the science studies, but it's great for skin, great for acne. Eucalyptus, wonderful smelling oil, helps to clear the mind, promotes feelings of relaxation, clear breathing. Eucalyptus is very nice to put a couple drops in the corner of your shower when you're taking a shower. And it just gives a beautiful, beautiful smell. I also do that with clary sage, rosemary, and peppermint. I just, when I start my shower, I get in, it's the first thing I do. Open them up, put them in the corner, or one of the first things that I do. Open them up, put them in the corner of the shower, as that water hits it, and it creates a beautiful smell, kind of like a spa experience. So again, eucalyptus, very good for anything respiratory, very good for muscle pain, purifying and cleansing properties. Okay, so there's so many ways that that eucalyptus can be used. It's antiviral, it's antibacterial, it's a decongestant. So you know how like you put the Vicks Vapor Rub, a little bit of eucalyptus, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of tea tree on your neck and on your chest when you feel like you're coming down with something. And I can tell you, I have literally stopped things from happening before they took, stop in my body. So it's an absolute wonderful, wonderful thing to, to help out with, like if you feel like you're coming down with a cold or a flu or, whatever. You can use it to gargle, homemade mouthwash. I mean, it's just the options are almost endless. Just having a couple of these oils in your life, you could do so much. I wanted to give a shout out to this website, Homemaking Wife, is where I got some of the information that I previously just talked about. Just wanted to give a little shout out because she had some really good information. All right, now I want to talk a little bit about science. A little bit about science. So doTERRA is very, very committed to scientific research. Okay, so they're not just a company that just throws some good smelling stuff together. There's a lot of science that goes into those bottles that we love, that we use. There's a lot of science that goes into it. There's advisory boards. There's lots of scientists that are here. This Dr. David Hill, he's often the face of doTERRA, him as well as, a few others. Nicole Stevens as well. There's a lot of videos that, that she actually puts on for doTERRA. There's a lot of scientists. Their mission statement is beautiful: to develop the world's highest quality therapeutic grade essential oil products through a leveraged network of high education and experienced botanists, chemists, health scientists, and healthcare professionals. So they don't just use one type of a professional, they use many types of professionals to do what they do. So we're going to talk just a little bit about the scientific research. All right, bear with me. I'm going to go pretty fast, but I've highlighted certain things that I just want to draw your attention to. And we can talk more about specifics, you know, one-on-one, but I wanted to go through this just so y'all could see that these oils have got many, many scientific studies attached to them. Okay, so number of slides, going to go through them kind of quick, but here we've got drug-resistant superbugs. Now we're talking about things that no antibiotic can, you know, can take care of. MRSA, right? Methicillin resistant, right? We know that these superbugs are resistant to the conventional antibiotics: lavender, thyme, lemongrass, eucalyptus. How about for respiratory infections such as colds, flus, pneumonia, bronchitis? What kind of research has been done with just thyme? That's just one oil. Thyme has showed to inhibit bacterial growth. Now, these are scientific studies through PubMed. You can find a lot of these articles through the PubMed, the NIH, National Institutes of Healthcare. Here we got asthma. So many people I know that have asthma. Eucalyptus is wonderful for asthma. Black mold. What about oregano and rosemary? Bronchitis, once again, eucalyptus to the rescue. COPD, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. I can't tell you how many people are coming down with this disease. And who would have thought? I had no idea that spearmint, you know, was found, you know, to help with the inflammation and the oxidative alteration as a result of COPD. Wonderfully smelling oil called spearmint. How about flu? Eucalyptus. How about pneumonia? Balsam fir and peppermint. Staphylococcus. We've got bergamot, we've got orange, we've got lemongrass, we've got lavender. How about some of the studies on digestive and foodborne infections? There's lemon, lemongrass, and eucalyptus. There's also basil, and there's rosemary. Fungal infections, coriander, ringworm, also petitgrain, which petitgrain is an oil that smells a lot like lavender. There's wound and urogenital infections, cavities. Lavender is a wonderful, wonderful support to these types of things. These are scientific studies that have been performed and actually have found that there is a difference made using these oils. Cancer and essential oils, like I was just talking about a few minutes ago. Aromatherapy in general is very, very effective with people who have cancer. Natural essential oil constituents play an important role in cancer prevention and treatment. There's also some clinical trials have found that an increase inpatient identified symptoms of relief, psychological well-being, and improved sleep. Okay, we're talking about cancer patients using essential oils. Now, here are some specific things, okay, and specific oils that were a part of these cancer studies. The effect of rosemary on human colon cancer cells, okay? Very, very effective against tumors, okay? Rosemary, again, suggests that these polyphenols target multiple signaling pathways involved in cell cycle modulation and apoptosis. Apoptosis is just cell destruction, okay? Our body literally will destroy the cells that are bad. And reason being is because it's trying to prevent itself from getting sick, right? Our bodies have a way of survival, right? That God has given to us in our immune system, So it's a wonderful system. But anyway, anti-mimetic activity. What is anti-mimetic? That's just when you're nauseous and vomiting and that type of thing. For those who, who are undergoing chemotherapy and different things like that, spearmint is wonderful for that. Cytotoxic. Thyme has an important in vitro cytotoxic activity against tumor cells resistant to chemotherapy, as well as a significant anti-tumor effect. So I don't know about you, but this is wonderful to me. Frankincense, it appears to distinguish cancerous cells from normal bladder cells and suppresses cancer cell viability. It's just one oil of frankincense. There's a lot of studies actually being done with frankincense. It's just it's a wonderful, wonderful oil. Okay, let's advance here. All right, essential oils for stress and mood. The effects of lavender and rosemary essential oils on test-taking anxiety. And now this is among graduate nursing students. I sent my daughter, she's actually texting me right now. I don't know if you can hear the little dings. I text this over to her before the class, and she's saying thank you for the tip, because she's right in the middle of this. She's in her nursing school right now, and it's very stressful. But it's just very, very helpful. It reduces that test-taking stress in graduate nursing students. Lavender and rosemary. It's got antidepressant-like effects. Okay, rosemary. Aromatherapy benefits autonomic nervous system regulation for even elementary school. Okay, now the results showed that after spraying bergamot essential oil, there were significant decreases in blood pressure. Now, I just think this is awesome. I just literally think this is awesome. Last but not least, essential oils for sleep. Of course, it's going to be lavender. So it can be concluded that lavender had a beneficial effect on insomnia and depression. So I just wanted to go through that. That is just a small fraction of what was actually out there that I could capture to put on this particular slideshow. There was a lot more. I could have been going on for a long time with just, some of the scientific research, but I did want everybody out there to see that there is research being done on these essential oils. And so you can say that there is good reason why we should be taking these essential oils, because they're good for so many different things, right? So essential oils and the chemical constituency, there's a lot of science to prove just how effective that they are. Now, I threw this in here because I thought it was kind of funny. I'm going to be, what do you call, they term that? They say, you just can't say certain things, right? So back in the day, now this is when I started with doTERRA. I purchased this kit right here. It was called the doTERRA Family Physician Kit, okay? And doTERRA had to change the name of this kit because we could not call, or they could not call this a physician kit. Go figure, right? But it was because it was trying to say that these oils were, that they were that there was actually reason to believe that a physician would prescribe this, right? So doTERRA had to change the name, and they changed the name to the healthy. It's called the Healthy Start Kit. I should have put that on this slide, but it's called the Healthy Start Kit. So they couldn't call it the Family Physician Kit. They had to call it the Healthy Start Kit because we had to be, what do you call, politically correct or whatever, because we get in trouble with the FDA and all of that kind of stuff. I think it's a bunch of nonsense, but nevertheless, it is what it is. These oils, these 10 oils right here, I talked about several of them today. These 10 oils are the baseline for almost everything that you could need an oil for, okay? You are going to be able to find within these 10 oils right here help for almost everything that you encounter, okay? Whether it's digestive, whether it's neurological, whether it's cardiovascular, or whether it's integumentary, almost every system that you have an issue with, you're going to find some type of help or relief using these oils right here on the screen. So this is, to me, and this is the same kit as this one right here, only it's no longer called the Family Physician Kit. It's called the Healthy Start Kit. All right. Then there's also another kit. And this kit, the bottles are larger, first of all, with the exception of the deep blue. The bottles on this kit are 5 ml. The bottles on this kit are 15 ml. So remember what we were talking about earlier? 3 times the size, but certainly not 3 times the price. All right, and I'm going to end with this cute little quote that I found, is that you don't need an inspirational quote. A lot of times you probably notice I throw little inspirational quotes on here, but this time I wanted to say you don't need an inspirational quote. All you need is essential oils. It's kind of funny. So everybody's supposed to be laughing out there. All right, now I wanted to leave it with what essential oils are you using and why? And so what I want to do is I want to open up this presentation. First of all, I'm going to stop the recording.